Okay, real quick. So I just want to jump into how your credit is calculated. So this little graph here is going to show you specifically what the credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, use to measure and get and calculate that credit score that is so vital for us today. So the first place we're going to focus on is payment history and credit utilization. The reason why, as you can see on this chart, they are the largest factors of your score. Payment history is a whopping 35% of your credit score. And basically the goal is you want to have 100% payment history. And I know that, that can be difficult at times, but the goal is to get 100, and 100 is what's going to give you that positive score. I mean, even missing one or two payments can have a detrimental effect to your credit score. So you want to focus on and making sure that your payment history is always showing positive, no late payments, and even if it's just a minimum payment, do what you got to do to get that done. And then credit utilization. This is talking about specifically your revolving credit, your credit cards. It's talking utilization is the percentage of available credit compared to what you're actually using. So, for an example, let's say you had one credit card and it has $1,000 limit. If you put $900 on that credit card, your credit utilization is 90%, and that's not good. So the higher utilization, the worse it is for your credit score. You want to keep your credit utilization at 30% or lower. 30% is a safe zone. It doesn't improve your credit, but it doesn't hurt your credit either. So, if you're trying to improve, you want to get that utilization somewhere about 10 to 2%, somewhere in there. And this is based on reporting. So if you have a credit card and you need to use it, that's fine, use it. But on that settlement date, on the date that it's actually being reported to the credit bureaus, you want to ensure that it's being reported as something low. So I have $1,000 limit on my credit card. I spend $900. I know that my payment is due on the 15th. On the 14th, I want to make sure that I put at least $600 on that credit card. So now I get it to my $1,000 limit. I get my balance that I owe to $300, and I'm under that 30% utilization. And the credit companies will report that to the credit bureaus. Then after that, if I need to use the credit card again, I will. So again, just make sure that for reporting wise, your utilization is always 30% or under. And if you do these two things alone, you watch your payment history and your credit utilization, this is 65% of your score. So you can see why this is a big factor. Next, we're going to talk about your age of credit. And typically what the credit bureaus are looking for is that you have revolving credit and installment credit, which is certain types of credit we'll get to when we get to the credit mix. They're looking to ensure that you have credit that is 2 years or older. Ideally, you want 5 years, which is go to 20 years if you can. But if you're 18 years old, that's not going to happen. But the idea is you don't want to continue opening and closing certain accounts. You want to have that good stretch of payment history so that the credit bureaus can see that over long periods of time, you can be fiscally responsible with your credit. Then inquiries is responsible for about 10% of your score, and this is just basically who's looking at your credit. There's two types of inquiries. There's hard inquiries, and then there's soft inquiries. So soft inquiries is let's say you go to annualcreditreport.com and you're pulling your credit report. That's a soft inquiry. That's you pulling your credit report specifically for research purposes. A hard inquiry is when a bank or an auto dealership or some other institution pulls your credit report in order to see if you are fiscally responsible enough for them to give you a loan. So you don't want any more than 2 to 3 inquiries on your credit report at a time. So when you go to Macy's or when you go to JCPenney's and they're looking to offer you that credit, the charge card, just be leery of applying for those things because that will have a negative effect on your credit, both in the history side and in the inquiry side. And then mix of credit. So now we're talking about mortgages, auto loans, and revolving credit, which is credit cards. These are, credit bureaus want to see that you have a good mix of credit. They want to see that on all sides of the coin you can be fiscally responsible. They like to see that. And the only other thing that's not really mentioned here is collections and charge-offs. So if you do have a bill and you don't pay it and it ends up in collections or it's written off as a charge-off, you're still responsible for that debt and it will show on your credit report. So you want to do the best that you can to either negotiate those debts down and get them paid off as soon as possible, and negotiate, them being removed from your credit as quickly as possible. And there are a lot of letters that you can send for this type of stuff. I don't recommend negotiating online because you do waive particular rights when you do that. And as a borrower, you do have a lot of rights. So if you keep it simple and if you use letters, you can have great effect on your credit. Just full disclosure, I'm not a credit guy. At one point, I did work for a credit repair company, but this video is just to help start pointing you in the right direction. So please do your own research and just take care of that credit. Credit score, the lowest credit score you can have is a 350. The highest you can have is an 850. Once you get to about a 720, 750, you can pretty much finance anything that you need, provided you have the income to do so. So, that's my spiel. I hope that this helped you out a little bit, and I hope that in your beginning of getting to that 750 credit score, you just understand that this is a long haul. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but it's so worth it. And I hope this video helped. You guys have a great day.